Man, that was not the kind of game that we thought or anticipated would happen. I mean, prior to this game, reading all about how Rodgers struggled in Tampa, and I mean, he didn't have a great game. He didn't have a horrible game, but he did kind of, especially in the second half, struggle. But definitely did not think, being at home, we were only going to score 12 points. I know the last couple of weeks we had trouble scoring, but you figured at home and everything, we'd be able to at least put up some more points. And so far this season, we're 3 games in, and our offense has not looked good at all. But before I get into my review or my reaction to this game, I am Ramy B. I post weekly Buccaneer videos. So if you are new here, make sure you click the subscribe button down below. And yeah, let's get into it. So a 14-12 loss to the Green Bay Packers. We had 285 yards of total offense with 251 passing and 34 rushing. The Packers had 315 total yards with 248 passing and 67 rushing. Let's keep it honest and fair. A majority, 90 of those yards of ours came in that final drive in the fourth quarter. Before that, we were literally at like 195 yards of total offense. So it wasn't as close. The score wasn't as close as what it looks to be. Offensively, Brady was 31 of 42, 271 yards and 1 touchdown. Leonard Fournette, 12 rushes for 35 yards. Russell Gage, 12 for 87 and a touchdown and a fumble. I want to say it was in the third quarter when we started getting a lot of 3-and-outs and stops on the Packers. Cameron Brate was 5 for 52. And Perriman was 3 for 44 and 1 fumble right before the half when we were threatening to at least make it 14-6 or 14-10. I think that one really hurt us, that fumble by Perriman, because again, like I said, we were driving, and I think at that time he fumbled at their 25 or so. We were in field goal range essentially. But for some reason this offense cannot get it together. I understand that. Mike Evans is out, Godwin is out. We found out from Todd Bowles that Julio could have played, but they just wanted to be cautious and save him for next week. Again, I understand, but I don't agree. I feel like this game is more important than the Chiefs game. You want that conference record. You want to be 3-0 in the conference and have that tiebreaker over Green Bay, who, as we would probably assume, is probably going to be battling for that #1 seed again, and we would want to have that tiebreaker over them. But yeah, it's not looking good on that end. Mike Evans is back next week, but again, the offense is just, we're lacking creative play calling. Cole Beasley came in, had a couple catches. But overall, like in the fourth quarter, we had that stupid, that dumb end around play when we were moving. I think that was the second to last drive. Darden got that first down, got I think 20-25 yards, and then we had that double flea flicker thing. It's ridiculous. Like you're doing it with players that would not start or play that often if our wide receivers were healthy, like Scotty Miller and Perriman, and what was going on with that? And a lot of first down rushes again. I know there was all the controversy about, Bruce Arians used to come in with the red pen and they all denied it. But, since Bruce is retired, our offense has not been able to score more than 20 points. We've scored, 19, 20, and 12. What's that, 16-point average, 17 points a game? When the last 2 seasons, really since Bruce came, even in 2019 when we had Jameis, we were averaging over 28 points a game consistently. Is it Bruce Arians wanting to be more aggressive? And you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to doubt the whole thing of no, he never really got involved. I don't think he was fully involved, but I think he definitely went in and said he wanted to see certain things because it's been ridiculous. We played a Cowboys defense. It's pretty solid. Saints defense always give us trouble. Green Bay's defense is not that good from what I've been seeing. I mean, they got whooped by Minnesota. The Bears suck. But yeah, offensively, we need to figure it out because next week the Chiefs are coming in, and I know the Chiefs lost 2017 to the Colts, but do we assume that they're not going to score more than 17 points again next week against us? I know our defense has been pretty solid, but our offense has to score as well. Defensively, I mean, you can't really complain. The first half, the Packers were moving at will. They were at risk of making it 21-3, and then we had that turnover, which kind of changed the momentum because since then the Packers literally could not score another point. So when they went 14 in the first quarter, and then we shut them out the rest of the game. But Logan Hall, he had 1 sack, and there was a crucial sack in their final drive where they were threatening to kick a field goal and make it a 17-6 game, and he had a sack on that third down to kind of push them out of a long field goal range and force them to punt. Logan Ryan had a pick in I want to say it was the third quarter as well, maybe fourth, I don't remember exactly, but he baited Aaron Rodgers, and again, Aaron Rodgers does for some reason throw picks against us. They showed a stat that at that point, after that pick, it was in 100 snaps against us or 100 throws over the last 3 games, since 2020, he's had 4 picks, whereas in every other game since then it was 3 total or some crazy insane stat like that. Vita Vea had one forced fumble right before the half that saved us instead of having us go into the half at a 21-3 deficit. He forced that fumble and recovered by Logan Ryan, and then Carlton Davis forced another fumble, and I don't think we recovered that one. Rodgers overall, like I said, he didn't have a horrible game, not a great game. 27 of 35 for 255 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Again, majority of that came in the first half. I think prior to their last drive in the fourth, they were saying that Rodgers only had like 30 or 40 yards passing in the entire second half. So, we kind of adjusted. Bowles has done a good job this whole season of adjusting. We've given up 3 touchdowns in 3 games. What is that? 14 points, 24. We've given up 27 points in 3 games. That's 9 points a game. So defense is still doing their part. And again, it seems like every game so far this season, the opposing team goes down and scores on the opening drive, and we adjust. So not necessarily worried. We held Aaron Jones 12 rushes for 36 yards. They didn't really have a successful rushing game. Receiving wise, Dobbs had 8 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown. Randall Cobb 2 for 57, and Lazard 4 for 45 and 1 touchdown. Nobody else had over 40 yards for them. So defensively, you can't really complain much. I would like to see more sacks. I feel like there was a couple of times we had a lot of pressure on him and forced him out of the pocket and have some, throwaways and things like that. So that's good on that end. But I still would like to see some more sacks. Rush defense, you can't complain. Defensively, you can't really complain about the game. If anytime you hold a team like the Packers to 14 points, you should win that game. It's not often you're going to hold the Packers to 14 points, and the fact that our offense is getting bailed out by the defense consistently and cannot adjust and score points when needed is not going to be a good recipe. I mean, like we said, the first 4 games were tough. I said going out 3-1 would be great. 4-0 obviously is unbelievable. Realistically, probably 2-2. Again, we're 2-1 right now. The Chiefs are going to be a tough matchup. And I mean, who knows? The Chiefs beat 2 bad teams. Who they play? The Cardinals, and then who else did they beat? I forgot who they beat last week. But essentially, they played Chargers. They had a rough time against the Chargers. And then today they lost to the Colts. Maybe the Chiefs are not as good as we thought they would, think they are. Maybe we can pull off that one. If we can pull off that game and go into the second quarter of the season at 3-1, that would be great. Mike Evans should be back next week. Todd Bowles says Julio will be back. That should definitely change things up. But, I think Donovan Smith will be back as well. So the offensive line will strengthen up a little bit. Hopefully by then, we can at least score like 24 points. I think against the Chiefs, you need 24 or more to probably win the way our defense has been playing. But yeah, Bucs Nation, comment down below. What is the most frustrating part about this? Is it the pass game, rush game, offensive play calling? Kind of what is it? Because this offense looks horrible. It looks like those old, Tony Dungy days where it's all defense and, the offense is only putting up 12, 13 points a game. But yeah, comment that down below, and thank you for tuning in. And as always, I am out.
Let's go! You a Buccaneer fan? Let me know. Let me know. We about to win this thing at home. Let's go! Buccaneers.